Good evening, everyone. This is the Town of Ayer Zoning Board of Appeals, dated Wednesday, November 30th, 2022, 6 p.m. Remote participation meeting agenda. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, in accordance with Chapter 22 of the Acts of 2022, suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, OML, public bodies otherwise governed by the OML are temporarily relieved from the requirement that meetings be held in public places, open and physically accessible to the public, so long as measures are taken to ensure public access to the body's deliberations through adequate alternative means. This meeting will be live on Zoom. Public may participate remotely by joining Zoom meeting ID 857-9728-7177 or by calling 312-626-6799. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Carly Antonellis, Assistant Town Manager at atm@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 100 prior to the meeting. The first item, we'll call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. State your name.
Jess Pugino, aye.
Mike Gibbons, aye.
John Ellis, aye.
Filippo, aye.
Sam Goodwin, aye. All right. This agenda's been approved. This is a continued public hearing, application for variance in Soya Foods LLC. Public hearing notice, the Ayer ZBA will conduct a remote public hearing at 6 p.m. Wednesday night, November 16th. Well, that's wrong. So this is a continuation of that hearing. Did you read this at the opening of the other meeting, Mike?
I did.
Okay, so we're just going to continue on from here. Someone has a presentation, is that correct or no?
It was Attorney
Yes.
Gibbons at the last meeting.
Good evening.
Did he present his presentation?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. Attorney Gibbons, your floor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So as you know, my name is Tom Gibbons and I represent Nasoya Foods USA LLC. And we're before you tonight to discuss a planned expansion of the Nasoya Foods facility at 1 New England Way in Ayer. And with me tonight are Brian Kim, Corporate Director of Engineering at Nasoya Foods, Justin Lee, Nasoya Foods Plant Manager, Jeff Prince, Senior Project Planner at Dacon Design, Dexter Preston, Project Architect at Dacon Design, and David Mackwell of Kelly Engineering Group. And yes, Mr. Chairman, so last month, we simply opened the meeting, continued right away, because of your absence, we wanted you to be at the meeting.
Thank you.
So a portion of the expansion includes a new cooling room. The cooling room portion of the expansion is proposed to be a height of 75 feet, and therefore we're seeking a variance from section 6.2 of the Ayer bylaw, which allows a maximum height of 40 feet. David Mackwell will provide you with an overview of the plans. But before that, I'd like to give you a historical rundown of all the prior variances that were granted for this property.
Isn't this project a continuation of the one from 2 years ago?
Well, it's not quite. There was a variance granted in 2020, but that expansion was never built.
Okay.
And I'll go into why.
All right.
But I know this board is familiar with Nasoya's facility because this board granted variances in 2018 and the one in 2020, and the board makeup is the same today as it was in 2018. So as far back as 1986, this facility had a freezer cooling room component. In 1986, the property was owned by New England Shrimp Company, and in April of 1986, the ZBA granted a variance for the construction of a 56-foot high freezer room. In 1987, New England Shrimp Company was granted a variance to construct a water pretreatment facility to a height of 45 feet. In 1996, Nasoya Foods purchased the facility and was granted a variance to allow the freezer portion of the building to be a maximum height of 60 feet. Then in 1997, Nasoya Foods was granted a variance for the construction of storage silos to a maximum height of 53 feet. In 2001, the ZBA granted Nasoya Foods a variance to construct 3 storage tanks in 1 silo to a height of 57 feet. In 2018, the ZBA granted a variance to Nasoya Foods to construct a 80-foot high stack, which was part of the regenerative thermal oxidizer being constructed at the site. And you all, I will remember that variance because, again, the board makeup was the same. Finally, in 2020, you granted a variance to Nasoya to construct an addition to a height of 59 feet. The 2020 addition would have included a second phase, and that would have brought Nasoya back to you for a height variance on the second phase. That addition, however, was not constructed because shortly thereafter it was granted, Nasoya realized that that addition would not have satisfied its needs based on the growth that it was seeing and the opportunity to incorporate new and improved techniques into the freezer cooler room. Now, some facts that you might not be aware of about Nasoya Foods facility here in Ayer is that it is the 2nd largest producer of tofu in the United States. With the expansion, it'll likely become the largest producer in the United States. The facility employs between 130 and 150 people, and with the expansion, the expectation is that after a short period of time, 35 to 50 more employees will be needed. Now, you can see going back as far as 1986 that this type of production requires a portion of its facility, particularly the cooling facility, to exceed the height limitations in our bylaw. I'm going to ask David Mackwell to take you through the overview of the proposed expansion, and then we'll take questions, and I'll also run through some of the elements of the variance. So David, if you could take over and give us a rundown of the proposal.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the Zoning Board of Appeals, and any concerned parties in the audience, and also the staff. My name is David Mackwell with Kelly Engineering Group. We have been working with Nasoya and their architects and builders, Dacon Construction and Planners Designers. And we filed a 3-sheet plan set with the zoning application for the variance. And today we have a presentation that enhances those 3 sheets with some colors and some aerial photos to help describe the project. They're really just colored versions of the same thing, and we have emailed them over to the staff for open meeting law. So this is just the cover sheet that we filed. And then the next thing we filed is an existing conditions plan. The site, which is bounded here in green, is about 12 acres or so. Okay, it's bounded by Westford Road to the north up here. This is New England Way, AKA New England Way, but it's actually technically Stony Brook Road, but New England Way here. Westford Road on this side. This is Catania Foods or Oils here. This building has recently been expanded and it comes right almost to the property line over here. And this is the rail line down on this side of the building, and there are other industrial users in the industrial district. So currently at the site today is a building that's about 115,000 square feet in size. You can see there's a lot of food processing and equipment on the rooftops and out around the site. There's car parking on this side of the site, approximately 159 car parking spaces on this side. Currently, there's there's loading on this side here, all along this side, and some loading in the front. The proposal to enhance both the food processing manufacturing space and also the freezer space, we've put together a plan that's in black and white in your zoning packages, has a lot of hatching and things on it. So we've created a colored version to help demonstrate some of those things. When we were laying out the site and trying to come up with how we could get the volume of cold storage, adding it here in this location adjacent to the existing cooler makes the most sense. And making it taller as opposed to wider keeps this nice green buffer of existing trees that exist today between Westford Road and the existing site. So it's one of our design criteria is really to kind of keep as many of these trees as possible because we realize it creates a visual screen along Westford Roads for all the passersby and also for the neighbors that are directly across the street. During the summertime, you can't really see through here at all. This is a mix of evergreen and deciduous trees all in this area. So that was one of our main design criteria was to kind of keep our new edge of pavement is about the tree line that's there today. And in this lighter color is where we'd be doing some regrading and revegetation of the trees that we would have to cut down just a few at the bottom of the hill. So other things that are happening at this site is we're kind of rearranging a few things. You can see these green areas. We're taking out quite a bit of pavement and putting pavement back. So overall, it's a significant building expansion, but it's actually a little bit of a pavement reduction. Part of the reason is, as you see on your zoning sheet, we have the one height variance requested, but we'll be getting a waiver for parking based on the zoning bylaw. So we'll have less pavement, but it's a more efficient parking lot. So the way the new site will work is access will still be gained from New England Way. And we're closing up the wide-ended, open-ended into the site with two distinct curb cuts here with some green area and landscaping to guide trucks to the back of the building in this way. And then there's an opening here to get into this area. And then we're creating a green strip to separate the truck route and provide some parking in an area where the trucks don't need to get. We have the brand new front entrance of what will be the office component in this area of the new building. And then it will blend in with the existing manufacturing floor, and out in the back is the freezer component. In order to fully circulate the site, we're proposing a new curb cut in this area so vehicles can come down into the site and come around and gain access to the new loading docks back here without clearing more up into the hill and more trees this way to get access. So the two colors that we have here is the tan color is the building or the building reconstruction and or addition. The dark line that you see here that I'm tracing, that's the existing building footprint. So we're expanding the building significantly on this side and in the back here. And the part that's a little bit darker is the cooler. The cooler is the subject of the variance. The site is in general conformance with the exception of height to the zoning bylaw. We will be getting one waiver from the planning board to not construct parking that won't be needed. And we are well within the zoning setbacks, as we can see from the charts of all of the front, side, and rear setbacks. We can actually see here, this is the neighbor's recently reconstructed building for the, I think it's Catania Oils over here. That's the outline of their building. It doesn't show quite yet on the aerial photos because it was just built in the past year or so, or a couple of years. So you'll see that, the required setbacks along all of the sides are only 25 and 30 feet. And then the proposed conditions, we well exceed those. Biggest one being 117 feet from the Westford Road property line. So elevations were discussed a little bit in Tom's presentation, and we're also, this is all about elevations because we are asking for a height variance, and we thought it was important to show what's kind of going on at this site and in the area. So as part of the filed documents, we filed a topographic existing conditions plan that really, there's a lot of lines on here, but we'll we'll just put it in plain terms of elevations. The elevation of Westford Road is about at 255. The finished floor of the building is at about 226. So quite below. And most of the areas around the building are about 4 feet lower because we have a lot of loading. Elevation 222. And then, down in the wetlands on the other side of the tracks, the grade goes down as low as, 215, 217 or so. So we felt that that was important as we reconfigure the site and we want to go up, that even we're going up here, it's not a tall building from Westford Road. It's a taller building from down here, but really from what we'd see from the public, it's not that tall. And Dacon did a really nice job. I'm going to switch to a slide that wasn't provided within the zoning board package. This is merely a colored version of that layout and zoning plan, where they cut some real sections from the detailed survey and the tree lines. I think the two that are most telling, I'll circle them here, this is if you're driving on Westford Road and you'd be heading east and the building would be on your left. So you can see here, I'm gonna zoom in so we can see some of the elevations that we're at about Westford Road. It's down here. Westford Road's about 31 feet above the site. And then we'd be going about 40 feet or 40 feet above that. And we did a little bit survey of some of the neighbors. I think that's 40 Westford Road, where they kind of come up off Westford Road to gain in there. So from like the garage of the house, we'd be about 32 feet higher than the driveway of that home. So I think that's, really telling the story that 75 sounds like a lot, but from what the public will see driving on Westford Road or living over there, it's not going to tower over everything. So we felt that some of these elevations were very important. Some of the silos are shown here in scale as well. And some of the building elevations of what it would look like. If you were, this elevation, if you're looking straight at the building from Westford Road, this is what you would see, but you really won't see that because you'd be looking down into it and through the woods, so you really can't see it on this elevation. And this is the front elevation. This is the new office and manufacturing area. And this is just the same section of the one above coming from the other direction at Westford Road. So similarly, from 36 Westford Road, we feel that we'll be about 29.5 feet or so above the driveways at that location and about 43 feet above Westford Road in that location. So the only other thing that we prepared or Dacon prepared is just basic elevations of the building. I know that it's not, we're not getting into design review here, but we want to show the massing of the building and how it was designed. So we've made some simple exhibits to show some of these elevations. So, circling back, we have a fairly significant redevelopment project for the food manufacturing business that provides a lot of jobs and is a big employer in town. And with this expansion, they'll be able to provide some additional jobs. I think we're providing, although we are asking for a waiver for parking reduction, I think we're still going to be providing about 40 more parking stalls than are there today. They'll just be a little bit more organized on one side, on this side of the building, and not as spread out. So as far as other permitting, as I had mentioned at the beginning, we are fully within the industrial zoning district here. We're also in the watershed overlay district. So we'll be going to the planning board for a site plan approval and a stormwater management permit. And also, we probably make a quick stop at the Conservation Commission. A very small portion of our site is in the wetlands buffer zone. That's the 100-foot buffer zone there. But really all we're doing is taking out some pavement and putting in a green strip and some landscaping in those areas. So, you know, we've been working on our next phase of the project, which will be the planning board filing, which will include traffic studies, stormwater management reports, detailed floor plans and elevations, all the things that are pertinent to that site plan review and the applicable findings for the special permit. So I think with that, I kind of touched on everything that we wanted to talk about. And at this time, I think I'd like to offer back to our team, including Attorney Gibbons, any of the Nasoya employees that are on the call, and the Dacon guys that have been working so hard on this project to help Nasoya get the manufacturing plant redesigned and the cooler space that they need for operations. So I'm kind of done, but does anybody want to supplement the presentation while we have it up?
If there aren't, I'm sure the board probably has some questions, and maybe you want to ask David questions before I go into some of the elements of the
Yep.
variance.
Of course, I'm just, if Jeff or Dexter feel that I missed anything, or you feel I missed anything that should be said before we answer the questions, I think that might, please chime in. Okay, so that said, through Attorney Gibbons and the chairman, we'll turn it back to the board.
So I guess I've got a question. So you mentioned that the Cantania building next door, the oils production facility.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know approximately how tall that building is? Just so I can use that as a frame of reference.
You know what? I started looking at that before, and the people at Town Hall were kind enough to give me their site plan.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it didn't have a height on it, but looking at it, looks to be about, in the realm of 40 feet, but it's,
Okay.
the finished floor is significantly higher. It sits kind of on a different, it's up higher. Let me, I've got it on my notes because I went looking for that, figuring somebody might ask that.
Dave, if you were to calculate the height based on average grade, that building is actually over an average of 45 feet because of the very tall foundations that exist against the Nasoya property line. They're 10 feet below grade, of course, of
Right.
exposed foundations. So that becomes part of building height in the overall calculation if you're looking at average height. So I would say that building would average out easily at 45 feet.
Right, so the finished floor of that building is elevation 235. As I had mentioned earlier, ours is 226. So we're about approximately 10 feet lower where we're starting. So I've kind of calculated roughly the top of the roof is elevation 275.
Okay, and we would be going, what elevation are you proposing to go to with the new roof?
The new
What
roof,
would the
yep,
300.
300? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great, thank you.
that was quick, Jeff, 300. The one thing that we'll note, just to supplement that, is that that building now comes up and over here, comes to about right here. So we're a little bit further back as well.
As the board may know, they got a variance to build within 15 feet of the property line.
That was a good question, Mike, and I didn't have the elevations for an exact on that building, but we estimated it.
I might also note, if it's maybe Attorney Gibbons knows as well, but the flower silos that are across the loop of tracks here to the east, they're about 120 feet tall. So I just want to note that there is definite precedent for height variances in this industrial park.
Yeah. Did we lose the chair,
So,
or I'm just not
I was
seeing
just
him?
about to say that, Attorney Gibbons. So I was just checking because Sam usually chimes in around now. It looks like we might have lost him. Sam Benoit,
Would he be
I
on
don't
the
know if
phone
you
call,
could try
maybe?
to. It could be.
Hopefully we'll get him back, because that was, a big reason.
Uh, Give me a minute, see if I can find him.
Thank you.
Okay.
I do see that at the bottom of my screen, there's a phone number that came up just a minute ago.
Yeah, I saw that too. Unfortunately, I don't know his phone number, but I will find it. Hold on.
Thank you.
Sam, it might make sense to contact Carly if she's available for this evening, just to
Yeah,
expedite it.
that's exactly what I'm doing.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hey, I do have his phone number. You want it?
Yes.
Why don't you give him
Let
a
me get
call?
her.
Just, yeah, don't shoot it out over
Yeah, no, I was
Yeah,
gonna say we'll do
okay.
that,
public
but
meeting.
I'm dialing in a second.
All right, perfect.
It just disappeared, so maybe it was he on,
yeah.
Hey, Sam, did we lose you? Oh, he lost all his power.
The gale
Problematic.
warnings were true.
Trying to call in. Okay, he can hear us when he calls in, but it won't let him talk.
way to,
He's
I'm
trying
not
it
the most
again.
technologically savvy here, but is there a smartphone that he could view it on, or?
I don't know what phone he's using. Cindy,
Hey,
he's
tell
trying to
him-
use his cell phone.
tell him to, if he has an iPhone, I believe he was talking about Apple.
iPhone
Have him on the Zoom window swipe. And then
On
there
your
should be an
Zoom?
unmute.
on your Zoom window, swipe. Well, actually, say that
Cindy, I
again.
think he's calling in with the line versus using the app.
Oh, he's just calling in. Okay.
I think so.
Oh. There, when you just call in, there should be an unmute.
Okay. All right. He's trying again,
Okay.
so you aware.
Yeah, he's not here.
You have the app on a cell phone? Is that what we're trying to do?
Yeah, so I have to hang up
Okay.
on him so he can try on the cell phone, but he said all his power just went out. Wonder if it's the wind or the rain
Oh, boy.
Probably both.
or both. Yeah. If he can't do it, I could call him back and put him on speaker. Would that work?
There we go.
Here he comes.
All right, I'm back. At least I'm trying to be.
There he is.
You are.
Okay.
There he is.
There. Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I mean, we're sitting here and then bang, total darkness. So I'd scramble around, look at my flashlight so I could try to use my phone for a hotspot, but that didn't work out. So, all right, I heard most of what was said. Sorry.
Yeah, that was going to be my question, is at what point we lost you in David's presentation?
No, I heard everything you said. And I even heard Michael's question. The only comment I had, and I don't know if it was, I might have missed it, was I noticed the comments on the department head return. There was questions about accessibility from the fire department for the 75-foot roof. How did you address that, or did you?
We haven't
we-
gotten there.
We haven't
Well,
got to
okay.
those.
There
Yeah,
is
we did-
access. There is
we did
access
address-
to the roof from the other cooler roof. There'll
David,
be a
I think
ladder.
on the elevation plans, David, I think we can see the ladders that the chief had asked about.
So you're talking, we have, let's see, this section right here,
There is a ladder on
there's a
the
ladder to get
third
to the,
section.
yep.
I'm sorry, yes, the second plan, right there, you have there's a ladder right on the existing cooler.
Yep.
That goes to the existing cooler roof, and that brings us to the existing cooler roof, and then there's a ladder from that roof onto the tall roof, the new cooler roof.
And you can see that ladder
Okay.
on the next screen down that takes you to the roof of the new cooling facility. I think the third
There's
one
an
down,
existing
David.
ladder there.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
the next, and there's a new ladder.
ladder to the cooler roof.
If I could
So
add a
that-
comment, if I may. Fire department access is much improved because we have a circulation road that goes around the building, which is very much in compliance with the modern standard for an unlimited area building, and will allow access right up to the tallest portion of the building for firefighting purposes in any methodology that they'd like to do. I think it's a very significant improvement over the current situation.
Fair enough. Thank you. Did you see the comments from the DPW? They had a
We
couple
did-
comments.
We,
Go ahead.
We read all the comments and we're prepared to respond to them. If you might repeat them, we'd be happy to.
All right. All right, the DPW is concerned about the encroachment on the sewer easement. The actual sewer force main location needs to be determined by the applicant. I'm assuming you did that.
We have done underground radar survey to locate all the utilities within the building footprint. The force main location is generally known, but not specifically located in all cases. We're going to have to do excavations to verify its location, but we're prepared to relocate the force main if we encounter it.
All right, so the DPW is concerned about the encroachment on the sewer easement. So apparently you're saying that's not the case?
No, there is an existing easement and we expect the pipe to be able to stay within that easement.
if it's in the
Fair enough.
easement.
Yes, there is probably some areas where,
We think they didn't put it in the easement and we would put it back in the easement.
right.
All right.
Thank you,
The
David.
second comment they had was they questioned the additional sewer flows and loading above the Neshoia's approved limits.
Can I just, I'm going to do that one real quickly. Nasoya has a permit with the town for 208,000 gallons per day. They're currently discharging about 170,000 gallons per day. And they expect with this production ramp up that they will ramp up to the capacity of the system at 208,000. Once they reach that limit, Nasoya is aware that there are other types of improvements that they will do to the pre-treatment systems before it goes to the waste system. There is a memorandum of understanding that is ready to be executed between Nasoya and the town of Ayer
For an increase in capacity?
for an increase in capacity after they have reached the 208,000 limit.
Well, you said they were at 170 something right now?
They are, but they have a permit for 208,000.
Well, I understand that, but so you're suggesting that this large expansion is only going to be 30,000 gallon a day difference?
Correct.
Okay.
Until it
How is
ramps.
this monitored? How is this monitored, by the way? I'm
There's a
somewhat
very
naive in that
sophisticated
aspect.
wastewater control system in the building.
Okay.
Excuse me, this is Justin. We are averaging about 120,000 to 130,000 gallons a day right now
Okay.
with the existing
Okay.
system.
Yeah. We have a permit
Thank
to
you.
170, but actual discharge currently 120. And even with the expansion, we can max out 200,000 gallon level with the new equipment installation.
Answer is Nasoya will provide all of the appropriate pre-treatment for all flows, and they will maintain the permit until their permit capacity is increased.
Thank you. Yeah, that's outside of our forte. I was just kind of curious.
No, we're very happy to address any of the other comments that were submitted from the departments. Was there other comments that we can address?
Have you paid your
Not that I'm
taxes?
aware of, no.
I do have concerns. Have you paid your taxes? That's a legitimate one for me.
Yes, at the last meeting, the taxes were paid except for a small amount. And I think by now that's probably been cleared up. Is that correct, Justin?
Yes, I'll
Brian.
double check with our accounting team, but that has been addressed. I think we short paid 1,700 some odd dollars, but there was an issue with it, and I believe they're paid up.
Okay. Yeah, that's
If we
makes a
did,
difference to me.
and Mr. Chairman, we did look through the department head comments, and I would just note that the DPW said that they didn't have an issue with the height. And certainly those other issues, we have answers, and as you know, we'll be going to the planning board if this variance is granted. So there'll be more time to deal with those. But we will comply with whatever's necessary for the DPW. But again, the point being that they didn't have a problem with the height. The one, at least I think the one department that would be most concerned with the height would be the fire department. And as we've said, we've, answered his issues with making sure that there's full access to all the roofs on the building.
Yep. Okay.
Has Alan
I have-
Minoyan reached out? Oh, I'm sorry.
So
I saw
Alan
his
has,
note.
Worth noting that the new addition will also be adding a full stair that goes to the new roof. Currently access to the roof is via an exterior stair, the existing building, or through a roof hatch. So we'll now have a natural stairwell that goes to the roof.
So Alan has not reached out to me, and his comment was he wanted to see building elevations. So those elevations we submitted after I saw that comment. And Dexter, is there another plan that shows something a little bit different that gives a bird's eye view that we were talking about? And if not, that's fine. But I would say that his comment was the elevations. We've given some elevation plans. He mentioned a balloon test. I suggested a balloon test wouldn't really be necessary. This board in 2018 granted the variance for the stack that's 80 feet tall. So, if you're down there, you can see that stack. It's better than a balloon, and that's at 80 feet.
And that's what I've used as reference here, just so the other board members know. I was using that as my real sort of measuring stick here to figure out where we were going to be at. If Alan did want to come down and do some kind of balloon test, unless you're opposed to it, just let him poke around. But I saw the elevations, and I think that addressed the major concern I had from his comment as well. So.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, Mike.
And we did pass along the elevation for pictures to him. So he did see them.
Thanks, Sam.
Fair enough. I have no further questions. You guys do? Mike?
I think I'm good, Sam.
Yes?
I'm good.
Okay. Ron?
No further questions.
John?
Yeah, you went through them all. I think everything's been addressed.
All right. I will entertain a motion.
Before I make a motion, Sam, do we just want to check with public?
Yes.
Is there, I can't see anybody.
Oh, sorry.
So-
I'll make a request. If there are any members of the public on the Zoom call this evening that would like to make a comment on this application for variance at 1 New England Way in Ayer, please use the raise hand button or frankly, just speak out.
Yeah.
Sarah Withy, Groton Shirley Road. Can
Go
you
ahead,
hear me?
Sarah. Yep.
Are these pictures that we're looking at the elevations that you're talking about that were passed along to Mr. Manoin?
They should be, yes.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Are there any other comments?
Is that it?
That looks like it's it, Sam.
All right. Now,
If I can
I'm
just
sorry?
kind of wrap up a few points. So, the topography we've talked about, the topography is unique to our lot because the topography isn't the same going down the whole Westford Road in that district. I think historically, it's clear that this type of facility requires height, and particularly in the cooling structures, because the way these cooling rooms work is there's a rack system in there, and the cold air comes from the roof or the ceiling down onto the product. And so it's the most efficient way to do it. With the relief, we lessen the footprint of the building. It's a more efficient use of the property. I think that there's, you can grant the relief without a detriment to the public good or substantially derogating from the bylaw because of the topography. So in reality, when you're on Westford Road, it's if you're looking at it, it's really very close to the height limitation as to what you see. And then in addition to the topography, you've got some mature evergreens and deciduous trees there that again lessen the impact visually. And without the variance, there would be hardships to the applicant in the sense that it would be more expensive to construct, it would be much less efficient, and it would take up a larger footprint. So I do respectfully request that you grant the height variance as requested.
thank you. All right, Mike, make your motion.
All right. I move to grant a variance pursuant to Air zoning bylaws, section 6.2, to allow for the construction of a portion of a building to a height of 75 feet where 40 feet is allowed.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. State your name.
Jessica Gino, aye.
Mike Gibbons, aye.
John Ellis, aye.
Philip, aye.
Sam Goodwin, aye. You have your variance, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much to the board.
Now,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Good presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you for coming out in the rain.
Oh, we're home.
We're at home.
We got it. You had to get up and get that cell phone.
Thank you.
Get that cell phone though.
Oh,
Now
come on.
now you have to get the heat going.
Let them think we're under
No,
hardship.
it's,
I wish we were.
All right.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
again.
Thank you again.
Mr. Chairman, and so the public hearing is closed or will be closed.
It will be, yeah, as soon as we make a motion. So
Thank you very
I
much.
make a motion, we close the public hearing for the Soya Foods.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Jessica Gino, aye.
Mike Gibbons, aye.
John Ellis, aye.
Philip, aye.
Sam Goodwin, aye. Okay, then.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great night.
Soya Food. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Right.
your approval. Thank you.
Well,
Good night.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody.
right.
I
December
think the next
21st.
item is, yeah, I think the next one is December, what? December 21st?
Yeah,
Is it?
December
It looks like it,
21st.
yep.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, really, huh?
What do we get
And
for
it's-
Christmas?
All
A
right.
40B?
It's gonna be a long one.
Yeah.
It's gonna have a Christmas party in this one?
I wish. Yeah, there's gonna be a long one. We've had 3 applicants.
Oh,
Plus the
Oh,
40B,
dear.
Plus the 40B?
plus the 40B.
Nice.
Yeah.
All
It's the
right.
most wonderful time of the year.
All of us to be there for Christmas.
yeah, honestly.
Joy, joy, joy.
Yeah.
Good night,
No
all.
kidding.
Good night.
All right, I
All
make a
right,
motion to
everybody.
adjourn.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
wait. Did we vote to close?
We did not. I'll make a
Yeah.
motion to adjourn.
Okay, yeah,
Oh, that we didn't do.
yeah.
Yeah, that we didn't do.
Felt something was missing.
Good catch.
Somebody say it.
Oh, second.
There you go. All those in favor signify by saying aye and good
Aye.
night.
Right on.
Mike Gibbons, aye.
Jessica Gino, aye.
John Olstein.
Dan Goodwin, aye. Good night. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Good night. Hope
Good
you
night,
get your
everyone.
power back.